Alright guys, welcome back to part 2 of Cozy Puzzles. This was recorded on a cold, rainy night in Southern California. Very mellow and cozy, and we're continuing on. So we're on to puzzle 22 now. Things are starting to get a little harder. I recommend you guys embody the mindset that I had in this session, which was to just totally relax, keep staring at the puzzles, and just try to fit the little pieces together. See what you can notice, see what you can connect. And with that, let's get started. All right, so the knight is hanging. It's tempting to want to exchange here, but the queen supports, so I don't know if that leads into anything. But we could just take, and I mean, if they trade, we trade. So the question is, if we take, is there like a weird in-between move or fork or something? I don't think so. Queen can't take here because our bishop defends. Yeah, I don't see any other threats for white, so gonna take here and hope it's right. And then when you see a good move, look for a better move, guys. So, you got to check because two things are hanging, and it's a question of which one's better. Which one should we take? And in this case, this bishop is targeting our rook, whereas this bishop is not doing anything. So if we take here, they're going to get us. So we take this guy. All right. Okay, this is an interesting one. So there's some puzzles where you do kind of like a knight jumps in and out. So like the knight can take the queen here. If they take us, then we take back, and it's like we gained a piece. However, you should evaluate the position after that, and basically material is more or less even. I think black's actually a little better there because they have, I think, an extra pawn or two. One extra pawn. So then you should see if there's anything better. And in this case, we have a check, king moves, and then this guy's hanging. So we have a free move with the check, and we pick up a queen. All right, I think I see it. So the first thing that jumped out at me is the sacrifice. You might be tempted to throw in this check, but if you do that, they can take your bishop. So it's important to keep the knight holding the bishop. That's kind of what's holding your pressure together, sort of your control together. So yeah, then I started looking at this sacrifice, and then the rook takes. So I have my rook here check. But then it's like, he comes here, and then you're like, you might stop the evaluation there, be like, maybe not, that's not quite it. But if you look one move deeper there, I think it proves to be the best move. So let's take a look. So takes. Now after I check, I want to show you just in case it goes away after I do this next move. When they come here, you can pause. What's the best move for white in that position? I'm thinking rook to d8, check, and then we're going to pick up the queen. Yep. All right, we're moving right along. Puzzle number 25. No misses as of now. All right, guys, I think I got this one. It's pretty tricky. There's kind of a lot going on in this position. It does kind of look like we can maybe trap the queen, though. Just, looking at the position, like, okay, it's a little constricted here, So I briefly looked at that, and I looked at this, and I was like, well, if you go there, they take your pawn, and maybe you're not getting them. So then I was like, okay, let me check out what else is in the position, and okay, we can maybe take, but they have a lot of pressure here, and I don't see anything from that. We do have a nice bishop here, but there's no knights ready to jump in or anything like that. So then I was like, okay, we got to go back to, feels like we can maybe trap this queen. What's going on over here? So I think if we start with knight to c4, we might have better luck. So if you want, you can pause and take another look and see if maybe somehow you can trap the queen over here. So I think the line is knight c4 check, or not check, but we're checking the queen. We're saying what's up to the queen. The queen actually has, I think, only one square, because let's look at this file. So like once we go knight c4, can't go here because of the rook. Can't go here because of our queen. Can't go here because of the pawn. Can't go here because of this pawn. Also cannot go here because our knight is here, controlling. Okay, so can't go anywhere horizontally or vertically. We can't go diagonally here because of the knight. That's also controlling there. We can't go anywhere along this entire file. It's all controlled. So the only move I see is queen to a1. Queen to a2. So knight c4, queen to a2. You can pause again if you want, and you gotta again try to find how to trap the queen. So from there, I think the simple rook to a1, which is probably what you guys first thought of, I think this traps the queen because can't go here because of our queen, can't take because of our bishop. This whole file is all controlled, and yeah, we're just winning the queen. Okay, this one took me a little bit. So the first thing that jumped out to me is like, okay, we have a nice check here. Maybe there's some sort of mate or something. But I don't know, like we check, they take maybe. I mean, we can keep checking them and, moving around, but like, I don't know. I think they can maybe run around, and it's not super clear to me how we're going to win that. We can probably get a perpetual or something, but then I looked on this side of the board and I realized like, hey, we kind of have a passed pawn over here. Maybe we can trade queens and then just promote our pawn. It's going to be a lot harder for white, or it's going to take a lot more moves for white to promote these pawns because mine are in the way. So you can pause and see how would you force the trade of queens here. So queen f5 check. The white queen is undefended, so they basically have to trade. Otherwise, we're going to take them on the next move. So, now sometimes you got to be careful, guys. So sometimes you're going to need to maybe make a king move to stop their pawn. Other times you just send your own pawn. In this case, I think we're going to send our own pawn. Also, I'll take this opportunity to explain something to you guys. So I don't know if you know this trick. If you're wondering, like, let's say a pawn is racing to promote. Let's imagine this pawn is in here for a minute, and imagine this king is like, oh no, somewhere over here or something, out of the way. So it's just this king versus this pawn. This guy's running, and we're wondering, can we catch them? I can't remember if there's a name, if it's called like the square trick or whatever, but basically if my king can move within the square that this pawn creates, then I can catch it. So like, for example, right now, the square it's on is here, and I'm within that square. If it moves up here and I go here, I'm within the square, so I am able to catch it. So that's a pretty useful trick if you didn't know that one. But yeah, I think here we're just going to push. Don't need to worry about it. And yeah, we can't even, going this way doesn't work because the king is here. So we can just push. All right. 27, no mistakes, pretty solid. So I see a good sequence off the bat. We can just take the rook, we take with check. So we traded the queen for 2 rooks, which in theory would put us up a pawn, because rooks are 5, queen is 9, so 10 to 9. And then, what's the follow-up move there, guys? What would you play after the king goes here, for example? Or not, for example, that's the only move. Yeah, what would you play there? Well, this bishop is hanging, so I think we just win a bishop there. So I think basically at the end of that we're up 4 pawns. And yeah, I mean, we'll be playing without a queen, so it might not be like the most fun. So, you know, you should check if there's anything better, but I don't see anything, so let's go for it. And once again, just check to see, you know, see a good move, see if there's a better one. I think this is the best though. Yep. Okay, this is a nice tactic. So we have some pressure here. This rook is defended. This guy's also defended, but you know, the queen, or sorry, the bishop is kind of what's holding these guys together. And you know, I looked at, oh, maybe we can like pressure this, but that doesn't quite work. They just take us. Maybe we can go here. That doesn't quite work either. They just trade. But there is a sequence of moves. If you want to pause the video and see if you can find it. So the move is rook takes bishop, check, king takes. Then we have a nice fork right there, winning the rook. So at the end of that, essentially we actually win the bishop because I'm losing my rook, gaining their rook, and gaining their bishop. Whoops, almost did the wrong move. Okay, here we go. Here we go. And take. All right. Okay, so first thing I notice is this. This is also hanging. I think it's mate in 2 here, actually. Pause and see if you can find it. Check. King goes here. What's the follow-up? What's the finish? Queen to h6. Checkmate. And the bishop's supported. There's no squares for the king to go. GG. Okay, we have pressure here. We're also down a piece here. Oh yeah, okay, so you might have been I was tempted to look at this sort of sideways ladder mate thing. You know, maybe we could go there and like they go here and we go there and it's mate or something. But we can't do that because of the bishop. So I still looked at this and like, okay, what if they come up? I can't check here because of the bishop. So, and it seems like that doesn't quite work. But like I said in the first few seconds of this puzzle, we have this check. Only move for them here after rook g2 is king to g1. And then, can you see the finish there? It's a mate in 2 after that. Check. Mate. No way to block it. Boom. Alright, puzzle 31. Let's go. Alright guys, I'm going to split the video right here. As always, like and subscribe if you're feeling it. And I will see you for part 3 of Cozy Puzzles, which is a very nice pit stop on our way back to 1700.